Welcome to book number 3 of the ABC Touring competition that Harley-Davidson offers the owners of Harley-Davidson motorcycles. I didn't expect to do a third book. Things in life have changed. I've finally stopped working, so I've got less money. I didn't know whether I'd be able to maintain the bike, but I can at the moment, at least for another 12 months or so. I don't know how my hands will go. The arthritis is getting worse. I still can't bend my forefingers very well. That makes riding difficult. It's a heavy clutch, and yeah, so if I only had like an automatic version, that would be really good. But as I said, this is version number 3. Two things are going to happen. One, as I go through, I'm going to make a little bit of a video log of the photographs I take. So wherever I am, I'll turn the recorder on and have a bit of a chat, as well as obviously taking the photographs. And at the end of it, I'll put all this together, and hopefully the little voice recorder that I've got going, I can play that back and the Macintosh will read what I'm saying and type it out, so I could have a written version of what I'm talking to you about, which would be really good. That's the plan. I haven't tried it yet, so we're going to see what it is like. If it doesn't work, then obviously I'm going to have a lot of rewording or retyping or something coming up to be able to get all of this into a written sort of form, so I could then print off photographs, print off the booklet, bind it up and keep it with the other two. The ABC Touring. I'm in two minds. One, if I'm very cynical about it, is that Harley-Davidson offers a competition to people who own the bikes. That means they will use their bike more. It'll build up the miles more, which means you need to get it serviced more, replacement tyres, and of course once you use your bike up for a certain amount of kilometres, time to get another one. So it's in their interest for people who buy Harley-Davidson motorcycles to actually use the bike, so they can be enjoyed, but also go to a Harley dealership to get service, go to a Harley dealership to get tyres, and another one, and so on. That's the cynical side. The other side is that, wow, this is a free competition that Harley offer you, me, the people who own these bikes, for nothing. Get you to get out, enjoy the sun, and the weather here in Adelaide is getting better and better. You can hear in the background that the birds are singing. I mean, it's a beautiful sunny day today, like it was yesterday and the day before, but it was raining every night, which is a bit strange. But this is, let's have a look, the 17th of October. So in the past 2 years, I've finished the book, finished all my photographs, and the touring competition March, April at the latest. But I was working in the beginning of this year, so that wasn't possible. So I figured, I'll do it later in the year if I did it at all. But I was sort of talked into it, conned into it a little bit, but that's okay. And the fact that Harley's got into the 21st century, because up to end of last year, to enter the competition, where's my piece of paper? Right, you get the competition page, you fill out all the places that you've been, and then you print off the photographs, and provided the postmark says the 31st of December, you post them into Harley-Davidson over in Sydney. And then someone would physically look at each photograph and mark it down, then add up the points. But this year they've gone into the 21st century. It's now all online. Woohoo, finally. So I haven't looked at the site yet to see how easy it's going to be, whether they've the Harley site is atrocious at the best of times, just trying to find anything. A copy of the form. What do I use to fill in? I mean, they're all exactly the same, except that little year date just there gets changed. The rest of the page is identical. So a little bit of Photoshop work, I could make myself a new page. But even on a member login section of the Harley site, that form's not there. There are no downloads. If I wanted to get a copy of the touring magazine cover, because in each of the photographs you've got to have the bike, yourself, proof of where you are, in other words an official sign, and a photograph of the current touring handbook to show that, yeah, I did take it in this particular year. But it's not there, you can't download it. You've got to email them and say, hey, can I please get a copy of the touring handbook? And they'll send you a PDF or a JPEG image of it. I've had to do that for the last couple of years because I bought my bike in June. I don't get the current year's touring handbook until June. So all the years previous, well, the 2 years previous, I've had to ask them, can I please get a copy of the magazine cover, go down to a shop, get it printed off, and then take that around with me, because I didn't have a copy of the book to use. So, said that the site's not really great, and I'm just got fingers crossed, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit easier to upload all this stuff than it is to actually find stuff on the net. So it's definitely something I'm not going to leave until the December 31st trying to upload these things, because I know what's going to happen. Something's not going to work. Either my internet connection here is not going to work, or their site's going to be so bad it's just not going to upload, and then I'll be really stuffed. Anyway, so let's get back onto this. So it's welcome to the site. As you can see, I'm still sitting here at home. The bike's been here off and on for the last few months. I've either been too sick, just not well enough to ride. It's been too cold, been too wet. And it's only, I hate to think, it's only done, 1,000 kilometres or something since the last service in about June or July. It's done about 16,000, and I did get a mid-winter oil change and service done at a reduced price, because Harley was saying, hey, get your bike in, we'll give it to you for $99 instead of the 180 or something that they did. And of course, I knew these tyres were getting a little bit old, because these are the original tyres that I got when I got the bike back in 2017. Yeah, 18, 19, or 2016. 2016, I think. Oh my God, I've even forgotten. One of those years, 16 or 17. When I got the bike, I did ask, how long do the tyres last for? Oh, sometimes they last 8,000 kilometres, perhaps 11, 12. So this was about 16,000 kilometres. When I got into the shop, they told me, look, the back tyres down to the limit. It still could be used, but if I got pulled over, the police could say, hey, you know, the tyres, no, here's a fine. The front tyre's still okay for a little bit longer, but again, that's still the original when I got the bike. So I have been quite impressed with the mileage that I've got. And the guys down at the Harley shop, they've also been, hey, that's pretty good going. Wow, yeah. It depends on how hard you ride the bike. It really does. Some treat their bikes really hard, and so just like anything, the harder you use it, the more it wears out. So I've been a bit of an old fuddy-duddy rider, but I'll do the speed limit, but I won't rip around the corners really quickly. But hey, that's my riding style. They can do whatever they like on their bike. So I've started planning where I'm going to go. I mean, you don't get a great deal from this Harley competition. First prize is $1,500 worth of Harley merchandise and stuff from any Harley dealership. The first year I did it, no, hold on, let me double check. I've got them all here. The first year I did it, 2017. It was the second year I got it. So I got it in 16. So 2017, I thought, I'll give it a really good go. So you can go up to a certain number of items, and then, I mean, here in South Australia, you're limited to what you can take, especially for this competition. So I chose to say, okay, let's go for a big ride right over to the east coast. So from here through the centre over to Sydney, from Sydney down to Canberra, Canberra to Melbourne, Melbourne back to Adelaide again. And I'm someone who doesn't like lots of traffic. And I thought, okay, Easter in the cities, people have gone away for the holidays. That'd be the good time to go and take photographs. So I did a 5-day trip from here to Sydney to Melbourne, back again during the Easter weekend of 2017. Left the Wednesday before, came back on that Monday afternoon, or the Easter Monday. I've been known to not go anywhere during Easter time simply because all the idiots on the road, I kept saying, no, if you're going to have an accident, it's going to be at Easter time. Too many people wanting to get somewhere quickly. They've only got 4 short days. They want to get there. They want to get back. It's just not worth the effort. So how I didn't think of that when I planned my trip to go halfway around Australia during the Easter weekend, yeah. But it did work. Everything was shut over the Easter weekend in Sydney and Melbourne, so I could get to the dealerships, take the photograph. I could go to these big things and take the photographs. The only busy time I found was on the Easter Monday coming back from Victoria to South Australia. It was in the afternoon, and there was all the traffic, all the families coming back from the Easter weekend, and wow, the road houses, the petrol stations, they were just jam-packed. Why would you do it to yourself voluntarily, knowing that, hey, I've got to go to work tomorrow? Let's get all stressed by having to go through all this traffic all the way home. So, wow, I didn't have to worry about that. I didn't have work on the Tuesday after the Easter weekend, but I was just amazed the amount of cars on the Easter holiday coming back into South Australia, back into Adelaide. So my plan is for this year, do my photographs. I've got my previous years, my 2017, 2018 efforts. I'll look through those. I don't want to keep going to the same places and taking the photographs of the same things, but a lot of times I don't have a choice. For example, the letter V. There's only one place in South Australia for that, and that's Victor Harbour. And the Victor Harbour police station is, hey, it's just there, why not? The letter Y, Yankalilla. Bit hard to find another signpost or town with the letter Y, so I'll go to the same place there. A few of the others, I've got a bit of a choice. I for India. There's a big, beautiful sign down southeast, Inman Valley, welcome to. Or I go up north to Inglewood, and there's a little post office with the Inglewood sign. So I've got a choice of 2. If I went interstate, yeah, I'd have a few more. But here in South Australia, you're limited. There is no letter X or anywhere starting with the letter X, so I can't do that. We've got enough parks and national parks here in South Australia to take the photographs. We call them conservation parks, and I actually even had to write to Harley to say, hey, is a conservation park classified as a national park for your competition? It took a couple of weeks for them to get back, and they said, yeah, it's listed in the South Australian National Park website. They're called, in Sydney, they're all just national parks. But here we've got Cleland Conservation Park, the Mount Sir Oliphant National Park, Conservation Park. So we've got all those, so that's okay. Dealerships, I can take up to 20 different dealerships, and on the Sydney trip, I was able to take the full 20 until some miserable little family stole the camera that fell off my bag. And so I lost 3 of the dealerships. Yeah, I'm still... they were still there when I came back because when I really don't know what I'm saying anymore. So the bike's all ready to go, or as good as it's going to get, and all I've got to do is just finish the planning of where to go first, second, third, etc. But I want to change tack this year. For the last 2 years, I've approached this as a task. I ride to a spot, take the photograph, pack up, go to the next place, take the photograph, pack up, go to the next place, and try and get as much done in a day, and then the next day or the next weekend or whenever, we do the same thing again. Try and take as many as I can in one particular day. But it's not the idea. It can't be the idea that you've got to do it like that. It should be an enjoyable thing, and it's like anything that I've tried to do in the past. I want to do things as efficiently as possible, and I approach the tasks as efficiently as possible, take them as quick as I can. But that's not right. I've got to change the way I do it, and habits are hard to break. Bad habits are harder to break. And my bad habit is I don't take time to smell the roses, to just look at the countryside, watch the cars go past, watch the people go past. If I take one photograph or 2 photographs in a day, does that matter if I don't take 7, 8 photos in a day? If this competition, I've got to go out 10 times, 20 times, instead of going out riding 4 or 5 times, does it matter? Of course not. Probably will be better for me if I do take my time. Because I want to do a bit of a video log, seeing the Harley site's getting all digital this year. I should go digital as well as doing the printed version. So I just have to think about where I'm going to go. And that's the next question. Good question. Where do I go first? The next time you see me, the bike's not going to be here sitting on the veranda, the little battery tender keeping the battery charged. It's going to be out somewhere. But do I go south? Do I go north? Do I go east? Can't really go west. There's nothing much there unless I've got a water bike. And how many photographs do I take? Can I stop myself from having to stop everywhere and take the photographs? For those of you who know Adelaide, if I head down south, the photographs I could take would be one at Old Noarlunga for the letter O, then Aldinga Post Office, then Maiponga, Yankalilla, Inman Valley, Victor. Then there's a big thing, that big cherries on the way back. Then I can go via Kaipo Forest to take a forest up there. But I'll be rushing. I would be just having to go quick. I'll stop and do it. What's wrong with just going down south and perhaps doing 3 or 4 photos and then coming back and another day going past those spots again to take some more photographs further down the track? As I said, it's a hard habit to break, and I've been like that all my life. You've got to do things now, do things quickly, get them done. I haven't really enjoyed my time doing it. Yet, that's the way I've done it. And yeah, I could shoot myself for wanting to do that. Let me just check a note here. So I'm going to change my tack. And I can't read my writing because it's so bad. I should have been a doctor. Change my tack, do that. But I think that's it. I can't think of anything else to say. I should have had a better script made up there, but if I did, I'd be squinting at it, trying to see it, and that's not a good look either. So I'm going to finish this now. The next time you see me, I'm going to be somewhere. I don't know whether I'll go down south first, or whether I'll go up north, take a few photographs up there, go up in the Adelaide Hills, take some of the national parks and some of the country towns and the country signs. And I don't know when I'm going to do it. This is the, I think I've looked before, the 17th today of October. Could be early November before I start taking photos. Not sure. But I'll have to figure that out and just take the photos. I do know I do have to do one small overnighter up to Renmark, because there are things up there that you just can't get here in Adelaide. I've got to get the 40 points on the competition to get my prizes. Yeah, the prizes was a baseball cap, stubby holder, bandana, patch and a pin. Yeah, it's not expensive things, but hey, they give them to you for nothing if you do the points. So it's going to be interesting of how I go. But I said the Renmark trip lets me take a couple of photographs of the state border signs. They're worth 3 points each. Then of course you've got the big orange, then you've got another big thing over in Loxton, and Loxton Post Office, L for Loxton, if I don't find another letter L somewhere here. Then going back past some place in the up the northern area, northeast of Adelaide, there's a big ram. Then Tailem Bend, T for Tailem Bend, Post Office or Police Station. If I find something else, letter T-ish, I could take that. But for the rest of the ones, it'll be little day trips here and there, up in Adelaide Hills, down south, up north. You know, easy stuff to do. Just a matter of getting around and planning where I want to go. And do little plans, not big plans that quick, I want to take the photo of. It will be interesting to see whether I can take my time, whether I'm enjoying the ride, whether I've got time just to set the camera up wherever I am and do a little bit of a video log and say, hey, I'm here at Gamaraka. Here's the big rocking horse. Isn't it big? Well, what else would you say about it? Or how I'm feeling that day, or how the bike's going, if I've seen anything funny on the way. So, yeah. All right, so I'll see you when I see you, or you'll see me when you see me. I'll be somewhere out of Adelaide, out of this place at least. The bike will be there, so I'll have my jacket on or whatever. But hope you'd come to the journey with me, see how we go, and see if I can take my time, enjoy the ride. The Harley Club, one of the Harley Clubs said that, hey, perhaps we could sort of get a group together and have a group attempt at this. Now, a lot of people just don't do it because they just don't want to go for a bike ride alone in the hills or down south. They prefer a group activity. Yeah, that'd be good. You're going to love location shooting. Sounds going everywhere. Birds. Where was I? Lost my track. Yeah, group activity. It'd be good, but I've got a group of one. I don't mind it. It's okay. I'm not a great socialiser at the best of times. I can get to talk to myself and get some half-decent answers. If I don't want to talk to myself, I don't care. But as I said, being with a group, doing it that way would have been interesting to see how it all goes. Just to see it, just slow rides, everyone stop, have their photograph taken in this one particular spot, then move on again. But one big thing with my change of tack, previous years, I've had my, I don't know what you call it anymore, a frame at the back with a little day pack bag, and I used a little mini tripod. And one of the bugbears of taking the photographs was that I'd pull up to a spot, I'd open up the tripod, get the camera out of the camera case, screw the camera onto the tripod, set it up, take the photograph with me and this cover and everything else that I needed, then take the camera off again, put the camera back in the camera bag, fold up all the legs on the tripod, put that back in the bag, and off I go to the next one. And then just repeat the process again. But I've got a big backpack that I'll use this time, and the tripod that you're on at the moment, it folds up to a decent size, which means I can leave the camera on the tripod. Oh, all I've got to do is just collapse the legs, shove it in the bag, and away I go. It's going to be one less huge pain in the neck for me doing it like that. That I don't have. It's okay doing it once or twice, but when you've got to keep doing it 20, 30, 40 times, ugh. But I don't know why I didn't think of using a backpack earlier. Simply because I had the little bag at the back, and yeah. Now well. Anyway, that's it. So again, goodbye. I'll see you on my journey whenever I get started and wherever I go. And this would be a good reason and a good method to slow myself down. Have a 5-minute chat about where I am and how the traffic was and what I saw on the way down to wherever I'm going. Did I come across any strange people who were wondering what the hell I was doing? That kind of thing. So it's a good way for me to reinforce to myself, enjoy the time you've got. I mean, my life, my biking life is time limited. My hands aren't going to get any better with the arthritis, and there'll be a time that I just cannot use the motorbike controls, and I'll be stuck with being a car person and only a car person. But not straight away, but that will come eventually. All right, I'll see you when I see you. Keep well, keep safe, and I will see you on my journey. All right, bye for now.